Da 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 da, making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. Cause I missed you so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, 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 la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree. And I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, 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 la da da da, making our Christmas memories.
Welcome to the warm-up show on the beautiful Wednesday night, December 14. 11 days before Christmas, Santa Claus coming from everywhere around the world on the 2022. This is your co-host, called Francis, directly for the beautiful country of Thailand. And we have to go all the way. We call him the code because he's the man did an amazing great night of 11-1. That's the reason he's the co-host. Because he did an amazing great night with 11-1 again. He's going to be alone in the bus. Mr. ENORTAP, welcome back in the house.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation, on this lovely December 14th.
People asking me, what is the formula? What kind of formula did you use yesterday to make this unbelievable night of 11-1? Because I didn't find it. I never thought the Buffalo was going to completely destroy the Los Angeles Kings by the score of 6-0. Greg Anderson, 42 years old, make a 40 save yesterday. I never expected that one over there. The Devils, I can understand that's very much, a good team versus them. Maybe some concern about the New Jersey Devils with that loss yesterday. But again, congratulations of your 11-1 last night on this prediction of one game in NHL. A lot of things happening last night. We're going to talk about different things, of course, the next couple of minutes. What you pay you most your attention last night and what something happening. But we have a few people already in the house, Mr. Nata. We're going to welcome everybody, first of all.
Let's do that, yeah.
First of all, we have all the way to go Mr. Ren Kirk back in the house tonight.
Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Ryan now sent a prediction with us. So glad to have Mr. Rand Cook inside of this prediction of the NHL game. Mr. Randy Walkman and Calgary tonight is in the house.
Randy!
Fan blocker will be interesting because you have a big game tonight between the Calgary and the Vancouver Canucks. We won't talk about this, but Randy is going to be ready for that game for sure tonight. Our moderator Luciano Graziano back in the house.
Luciano, welcome.
Luciano said to Luciano sent us an email and said, listen, a great day in hockey is when you don't go to jail. He said, I did not get there for the last 4 days. I feel great right now. Everything look good over there. So Luciano right now is happy. Maybe not his wife. Maybe it's alive. So maybe he should go to jail. Maybe one day this week that would be better. I can buy you prison. You can see what's happening. But we'll be able to see how he's going to respond tonight. The good news: nobody go to jail. Mr. ENORTAP tonight.
I know it was a great evening for everybody.
And we now go tonight too because you have only 3 games.
Only 3 games, so there you
go. So you're going to have a lot of food. Maybe Friday when the people maybe go there because we keep all the food, in the fridge and we keep up over there. So an extra tuna over there for sure for everybody. And our friend Jeffrey Curry is back with us directly from Taiwan, Mr. ENORTAP.
Hello, sir. Welcome.
Sometimes they go to jail. Sometimes they go together. Sometimes they go to the bus. Sometimes they go together. But usually they go split. They separate themselves. One in the jail, one in the bus. And I'm talking about the family Bengal and the house, Mr. ENORTAP.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Rick and Dimitra. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us. He was generous. He picked it up over there to bring back home and Mr. ENORTAP.
With the party bus, yes.
Yeah, exactly. RJ Calabro back in the house. RJ, hopefully doing well. RJ. Hey, RJ. And it's going to be an easy night for you, Mr. RJ. Don't fall asleep. You talk about the World Cup. The France beat Morocco by the score 2-0 for what I heard. So congratulations for the France.
Coach, I think it's RJ's birthday today, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it today?
I think so. Maybe he can tell us, but I thought it was today.
All right, we're going to figure out that RJ. One the next couple of minutes. Mr. ENORTAP. Run with Kings. Good afternoon, directly from Utah. What the heck's going on with you? Hey, Kings run. I took you tight. He gave me some tips. Said, look, coach, you should look about this. I think I'm going to beat the Buffalo. So, all right, I will go with him. Again, I got burned again. So tonight, what I'm doing, Mr. ENORTAP, I don't take any prediction. So what I'm doing, you give the score, I take the score. You give me Ottawa, I take Ottawa. You give me Detroit, I take Detroit. You give me Vancouver, I go with Vancouver. That's it. You're the GOAT. I don't go with you. I follow you tonight. That's it. That's all. This is my prediction of the night, Mr. ENORTAP.
I think our GOAT is Jarmo. Isn't he the leader overall? Like that takes
yeah, but I don't watch his pick. So that's the reason why. But after an amazing great night of 11-1, I have to follow with the one about that one over there. But we have Mr. Rick Kane with the San Jose Sharks. Very happy about this, Rick, because he won yesterday.
Hey, Rick,
scored 3-2. Good game last night between both of them. About this, Demetro have a rough night at the jail. One rougher night on the party bus all alone. Yeah, that's opposite. I think you should work maybe a little bit more together to figure out what's the best for both of you. Talking about the men, the leaderboard on many categories. Jarmo Virtanen continues to performing the
Jarmo the man.
At 10-2 last night, Mr. Jarmo, and he got one right score, I believe. I cannot get right score anyway, but it's on the subject for the time. And then RG said 2-0. And then he's in the house, but he's on the highway somewhere. I don't know. Maybe at the red stop. Who knows? But I'm talking about Dixon Automotive Group.
Hey, Dixon, welcome.
And then there was Sally Stay, Geoffrey Day, Jose Duarte back in the house tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. Jose doing well. Glad hopefully everything is well with you. And our friend Alan Barnes is with us, Mr. ENORTAP. Alan Barnes,
hey, Alan,
Richard Mullen is sending up comic, is with us. Richard,
Richard, how's it
an
going?
average night last night, I think, Richard. I think he struggled a bit about this. Are the leave picking too soon? Not at all, Jeffrey. I'm going to talk about the leave the next couple of minutes, guys, because I have a couple of news about them to talk about. And then the final talk about World Cup. Mr. RG, thanks so much. Gamer back in the house. Another bad night for King of Gamer yesterday. Congratulations, King of Gamer. Going from Christmas intro to middle intro is a shock for Rick, King of Gamer. Welcome aboard. And Mr. Natap, anything you want to add before I move on? Adam Barnes now moved from YouTube channel to the Facebook. He's hard to follow. But
Why not?
The most important thing is with us. What about the captain, Mr. Danny T?
Maybe he did it to get you an extra like, you know. It's
yeah. I love it. I love it.
Up a different.
I love it.
Hello,
about this one.
Danny.
I'm looking about outside, so there you go. Danny T, welcome aboard. Danny T, thanks to be with the Hockey Nation show. The captain of the is maybe in the truck of Amazon. Who knows? Maybe he stopped at the right corner. So you know what? I'm going to hiding. It's a little bit hard to hide a truck Amazon. Just fake it. Just go in the a driveway to a house and just stay over there and wait for the people think now you're working, but honestly, maybe don't go in the back of the truck. Stay in the driver's seat in case something could happen.
And go on your YouTube channel and listen to Coach and his videos.
Yeah, that's why he works. So don't forget to make your prediction. By the way, that will be helping you about this. King said, ENORTAP either can predict the future or control it, get one wrong, but must not be. So, yeah, he can do that. He is the man of the men.
That's why I'm on live there, Justin. Jot it down.
I'm going to start writing down ENORTAP prediction to make sure it's legit. Here we go, Luciano. About this, maybe you're right about this, Luciano. I just trust him. So I trust my firm Deloitte verification, but we have to go with that one over there.
I'm getting a hard time here. It's one of the few times I won, and I'm getting
Yamo said he has 77 yesterday. The total was 78, Mr. Natap.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, very close.
I did not get it. And our friend Joseph Laham, there we go. Sandy said the Devils did not lose 2 games back to back. They never win again, Mr. Natap. This was something I need to learn more about Joseph. He's completely now, he's going to get a call from Lindy Ruff next couple of days. If he continues to go that way, Mr. Joseph, be careful. Lindy is not very happy right now. A very bad game yesterday against the Dallas. So I have to give credit for the Dallas, Mr. Natap, yesterday. Play a solid game against the Devils. And it would be interesting what going on. A couple of teams at the top now struggle a little bit. For sure, we can talk about this a little bit later. The Double J, we call him the Double J, I believe, for Toronto downtown, Mr. Natap, back in the house. Welcome back with us. Try to figure out if we have other things.
Welcome.
And Mr. Zach, welcome, Mr. Zach. Go Abs, go. Thanks to be with the Hockey Nation show. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be awesome. And then, ENORTAP is excited when you want to talk. What's your prediction, Dab, is Senator to Zach? I cannot tell you, Zach. I will tell you why. I need to wait for the master tell us the score. Then we'll give you the score about that one over there. So, but I have a good idea what is coming. I know. I read him very well. So, but I will not be surprised if you go that direction.
I'm going to get you to say it first, though, Coach.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Joseph, you did it, honestly, very perfectly on that one there. It's like a pitcher at the 9th inning. He does great shootout, no hit against, and then he show up there, and then someone said, hey, he may be going to have this game perfect game, and then boom, he got a first ball at the 9th inning, he lose because we talk about this. That's the way you do that, Joseph. No, you're going to learn. Never talk that way. And the future about that one or that. ENORTAP said 4-3 Ottawa from Yamo.
We'll see.
Be interesting what happening. Put some pressure on you. So, Mr. ENORTAP, that's your turn. We're going to put you in the bus right away so you can come back quicker, faster, better. So, let's see what's happening and will give us a little bit more information. What happened the next couple hours with you? There we go. He's back right now. Ren Kirk said
Great.
Hyman is really clicking with McDavid and Rand Knockout Hopkins.
Yeah.
Coach said that Kings coach is the only pick favorite. You're absolutely right about this. And I got burned all the time. I'm too afraid. I plead chicken. So that's the the play about that one there. Melissa Zabran in the house. Mr. ENORTAP, 18 minutes already. And we need to talk about some content. So the first thing we do all the time, hopefully the participation of people. We can have a lot of things to talk about to you. When you go to finish what pay you attention last night with 12 games?
Well, we have some time, Coach. So we're going to talk about some of the games, but I also very quickly want to talk about Montreal because, as much as it's great to see that they're doing relatively well, they're responding well with any team that comes their way for the most part. A couple things to keep in mind moving forward. Number one, December has never been very kind to the Montreal Canadiens. If you look at the past few years, they usually don't do very well going into January. Number two, if you look at their schedule, their next, I think it's 15 games. It would be very interesting if one of these nights we put up what their schedule is, and maybe you or somebody in the chat could tell us, where do you see a victory? Because this could turn south very quickly. And I hope it doesn't for them, because I think that they've worked extremely hard, and Martin St. Louis has done yeoman's work to get them to where they are, developing properly. But when you put that together with the fact that the trade deadline comes around, I guess it's in February, is it? Or
Beginning March
March?
this year.
Yeah, beginning of March. We could see a significant drop in the standings, because I'm hearing a lot of people are very excited, which is great. They're even saying, "Hey, we're not that far off from a playoff spot." But you gotta. This is only what 30, about or just over 30 games of the entire season, and this is a marathon, and really this goes for every team in the league, right? Like we're seeing some teams going through these hot streaks. They're winning 8, 9 in a row. That's great, because it does wonders for their confidence, but it's a long season, and it's usually the team that's hottest at the end going into the playoffs that makes that push. The team that has some experience, like we constantly neglect Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay keeps surprising us. Not just every year, but even this year, it looked like at one point they were down and out, and they weren't playing very good defense. Vasilevsky didn't look like himself, and yet here we are, and they're starting to really impose their will right now. And you can never ever count them out. They're a very formidable team. The Leafs are doing extremely well, but the old proverb that they have to prove it in the playoffs. That's until they shake that monkey, then it's going to be hard to set them straight. I think, and I wish them well, because I think they have the talent to do it, especially if they add a missing piece or two. But look at who they might play in that first round. It doesn't look like a promising matchup, any way you look at it. So that's just a sort of an aside in terms of some of our games from yesterday. Before you comment on it, Coach, we had the thing that really stood out to me was the number of shutouts. I think we had 3 or 4 different shutouts in different games. The game of the night I thought really was the Vegas and Winnipeg game. These two went toe to toe, back and forth. They exchanged leads, I think, 4 times in that game, and the Scheifele had a hat trick as well. Hellebuck wasn't at his best, but it wasn't entirely his fault. I think that's some of their defensemen did not play some of their best hockey last night. And even, with the injury factors there, that sort of affected both teams, because we know the injuries with Vegas, but if you look at Winnipeg right now, they're going through a flu that's going through the entire team as well. And that may have helped contribute to that particular loss right there, which, by the way, was the only one that I got wrong
Are you
last night.
upset? What?
No, I'm not upset. Vegas is a good team. I told you, if they stay healthy, like, people don't give them enough prop and respect. If they stay healthy, they're dangerous team. And right now they're winning despite having some major players off their roster.
Yeah, they miss a 7 player right now, the regulars lineup
Yeah,
over there. Yeah, but a lot of things
3
happening
on
yesterday.
defense.
Again, Edmonton consistently performing. Trossard 5 point last night, 2 goal, 3 assists.
Yeah,
McDavid another great night, 1 goal, 3 assists, and then Iman. Um, do you know what kind of life he is right now, Iman? Like, you have one player in the NHL, like he once said, I want to make the NHL one day. And then he said, one day I have an opportunity to play with Matthews and Marner. And then I got traded while I signed another team, and I'm going with McDavid and Trossard. It's not happening to many players in NHL. You change the team. You play with the 2 best player in the planet right now in hockey. It's Zach Hyman right now. Unbelievable. Lucky life he has right now to be a part of that line where Trossard and of course McDavid is one player we don't talk a lot behind this. Is maybe the heart of this power play is INH. I think he does a great job. He's going right now his best career in hockey with Edmonton Oilers, and he signed a discount contract with them. So I think we need to give
in
him a
the
little bit more
summer. Yeah.
credit for what he does with Edmonton Oilers, Mr. ENORTAP.
Oh, absolutely. And, just going back to Hyman, I mean, he's always been that type of player, very gritty, goes to the hard places in front of the net. He's got very good hands around the net. So if there's a loose puck there, you can count that, 8 out of 10 times it's in the net. So it's great that he's been able to step in Kane's absence, to help out that first line. And I think when Kane does come back, it just gives them that extra depth that they're kind of lacking right now. Even though, as you said, Nugent Hopkins has been having a career year.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about this. Luciano talk about chili pepper show up yesterday. Veronica, he talk about a new show. It's going to call Hoffman Happy Hour. Yeah, possibly we can do that. Alan Barnes, no, the player don't have to do it anymore. It's not require. And then we have King of Gamer asking you, how many games do you watch off camera? I usually watch 4 to 5 games every night. Some game I watch at the same time from Mr. King of Gamer. Then Rick said the league will win, and I hate them, but they are a Stanley Cup champion before Matthews leave for Arizona. Francois is in the house. Welcome back, Francois. Thanks to be a part of the show from Mexico. Welcome from Mexico. He set 5-3 for the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Thanks so much for that one over there. And I want to talk about Ovechkin. He scored his hat trick at 29 in his career. His 800 goal in NHL is about 94 goal of course, of the Gretzky, and 1 goal to tie Mr. Goldie Orr. He became the 3rd player in NHL to score 800 goal. And if it was not the COVID, if it was not the lockout, Ovechkin was going to be, he's already beat Wayne Gretzky record. And I just, talk about performance. You talk about players, they are impressed by how he does this night after night. And whatever the people expect, the one-timer, he find a way to make to find a hole through the goaltender. And it's rare, those kind of specimen in NHL. We have to give
Absolutely.
credit for what he accomplished so far.
You're absolutely right, Coach. And, I think in the history of the NHL, we've had some very prolific goal scorers, but and none to this level of Ovechkin. I mean, he's this guy's what, 37 years old now, I believe.
Yeah,
Is he? Yeah,
he's getting there
it's
now. Yeah.
amazing. Like, he's playing, like, today's NHL is predominantly dominated by the 19, the 20, the 20 one 22-year-olds that come with that strength, that skill level, that you know, that they can maintain a certain elite level night after night after night. And here's Ovechkin at 37 years of age, about to be 38, and he hasn't skipped a beat. Like, you're absolutely right. He is a specimen. He's a beast, and that's partly because he stays in shape and knows his role, and doesn't stray away from it. He knows exactly what it takes to be a winner.
Yeah, absolutely about this. It's really impressive when you think about this, like the draft Crosby and Ovechkin, right? Remember that one? And now they still, both of them have maybe one of their best seasons so far in NHL. That's pretty impressive if you think about that right now. Both have a good year so far. Bill Snyder is in the house. Welcome aboard, Bill Snyder. Thanks
Welcome, Bill.
to be with us. Bill is William from Facebook. And our friend Nick is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. So that's a great one. Ron Asker, does
Nick,
Ovechkin
welcome.
get legit goal on an empty net for 801 goal on one? That's a great question about this one. Do you think Arizona is as bad as the record show? They have a lot, so many at one goal game. Mostly they seem to deserve better than the record currently show about the
They
Arizona
are.
Coyotes.
I'll answer it very quickly. They are as bad as the record shows. If it were not for Vilmelka, and I'm telling you, if Montreal can pull off a trade and get this guy, he will set our future solid for the next 10 to 15 years. Like, this guy is amazing, and even yesterday, he kept Arizona in that game when I thought San Jose, for the most part, dominated it. And if only he had some solid help in front of him, I think we truly be seeing even more spectacular numbers from him.
Yeah, absolutely right about this. We have still have time to talk about different things, Mr. ENORTAP. First of all, the
Sure.
Bo Horvat contract and the destination. So what
Wow.
I played at. So first of all, Bo Horvat announced yesterday, he's going to focusing only in hockey and not about his negotiation about this. He became really a distraction in Vancouver. It became really bad two ways. It's funny because with the new owners they have there for many years, they, Vancouver had tendency to trade their star. Think about this. They trade Roberto Luengo. They trade Kessler. They trade a lot of players. They have should be an icon over there, and they find a way to trade other effects sit in. But I think for me, it's really turned around to be a bad situation for both part of this, for Bo Horvat and for the Vancouver Canucks. So what do you think about your thought about that situation with Bo Horvat and the Vancouver Canucks?
Yeah, you know what, Coach? After I heard those comments, I thought this trade is as good as done. Just the fact that he doesn't want to talk about it and sort of put it at risk, because I think the agent is working extremely hard to try to get them out of Vancouver, and he's going to be a great acquisition. I sort of almost don't blame him, because I think this is the second time that he's been given an offer from the Vancouver GM, and both times I thought, especially the first time, but even this one here, apparently they had given him 7 years at, if I'm not mistaken, at
Yeah, they
seven or
look about 44
7.5.
to 450. They look about the same money they give to J.D. Miller, $56 million. That would be the
Yeah, but this is a year later, and you really have to look at the comparables, and the players of his ilk are getting a starting point should be $8 million with Horvat. I think he'd probably, I think his agent's looking somewhere around 8.5, maybe.
yeah. But
Excuse
again,
me.
you cannot start like mentioned like 8.5 and then after that come backwards. So it's just a negotiation. Like the team can just say, look, we're going to start that way over there, and then you go up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. You're right, because that's what happened with JT Miller as well. He was very much lowballed at the beginning, and then eventually he got something that was mutually agreeable by both sides. So I don't think that that's going to be the case here. I think there's some problems, maybe some feelings that have been hurt along the way as well. And I think Bo's looking to get out. So I don't think this will end well for Vancouver in terms of retaining him. So they're going to have to look at, trying to get the maximum return for him at this stage.
Where do you expect him to go?
Oh man, he could go anywhere. Like this guy would be an absolute great addition to anybody, especially a team that's looking for some offense. He's got a great knack around the net. He plays the bumper position extremely well on the power play. He's fierce, uses his body. This guy, I mean, if his assists were a little bit higher, he could probably dictate exactly where he wants to go. But I think, I don't know. I'd have to look at the salary cap situation with teams and who can sort of afford him in under their current conditions. But he would definitely be an asset for, I'd say, at least 6 or 7 teams that are needing that added scoring.
Yeah, definitely about that. Someone asked if they're going to go with Montreal. I don't think so. He can go with Montreal if he got trade, and maybe he can resign over there, but otherwise, I don't think so. He can sign as a UFA, but not as a trade at the trade deadline. Mr. WJ, we have a few people show up. Kevin TP, Marco Larabi show up the last couple of minutes. Then we have someone else. I pick up his name. Roland, welcome back, Roland from British Columbia. Then we have Adam Berger with the Vancouver with the Vegas Golden Knight. Welcome all of you tonight, everybody. Thanks to be a part of the show. And Denis Rodrigue, there we go. That was my last one. Denis Rodrigue, welcome aboard all of you guys to the Hockey Nation Live show tonight.
Welcome everyone.
And then over I expect for 3 teams: the Islanders, the Carolina Hurricane, and the Colorado Avalanche, all 3 teams. I think the key behind that is to try to resign him after that. I think it's really hard to rental the players only, but I think you have a possibility to get him a little bit longer, a little bit like Langholm happening to him with the Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins straight for him, and they sign him right away with 8-year contract. So it could happen that way for me if a team can pick it up. Don't forget Carolina Hurricane behind this equation, and that would be my expectation for Bo Horvat. But something we're going to talk about this. Toronto is different now. Timmins 3 assists. People said, "Oh, we have to wait until the playoff." You turn out the Toronto you see right now, you never see those Toronto like them like the last 6 years. It's a game last night. Usually they would just take easy and they would just make a little bit effort to win the game, and that's it. That's all. Let's move on for the next game. Didn't happen last night. They driving again. They diving deep, and they was not really care about the score. They want to score one more. It has happened. You can see the mindset, the maturity, the responsibility, the big guy. Then you have the bottom 6 score yesterday. You have a performance, a trade of Kyle Dubas again. He made 2 trade, Murray, Samsonov. Now he got Timmins, 3 assists yesterday. Now you have to give credit for what the Toronto accomplished in the beginning of the season. It's a new team I never see for the last 6 years. They are legit for me. They are real. And it would be a team to watch deflate for the next playoff because they are really different. You can see the way they play, Mr. Nata.
Yeah, you're right about that, Coach. But I'll also add that I haven't seen Anaheim be this pathetic in a long, long time. And you can tell that they're out
it's
there.
A game, Mr. Nata, and in hockey, it's just easy. So my point in the past, they would just take winning 4-1, 3-1, and not pushing, not pushing hard. You can see a new majority, a new way where I understand what Anaheim is not good, but it was already 2-0 at the beginning of the game. And Marner already set
Yeah,
up this
no, I know.
23 game.
Yeah.
And I feel like that team take very things seriously. You see another mindset of the game, how they play. And everybody produce right now. From the bottom, Egval scored yesterday, Oldberg, yeah, Timmins right now. And they're missing O'Reilly, they miss Riley, they're missing Marzette. It's not matter. Another shootout from Samsonov. That team for me, it's really better what I never see for the last 6 years.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to argue that at all, Coach. But I think not just with the Leafs, but any team that right now is at the top of the standings, the common denominator is goaltending, and that's what the Leafs haven't had in the past that they're getting this year. So far, Murray has stood on his head, and Samsonov has been there. And when both were down, he even had Shalgren come in and give him 3 or 4 solid games. And with their offense, they didn't really need more than that. So yeah, you're right. They've added a couple nice pieces as well. If they can pick up a couple more at trade deadline time, I think that they're going to look solid going into the playoffs. Then it
Absolutely.
all depends on here,
But
because
yeah,
if
I
they
understand that part
beat
because
themselves,
they go that one there. But I think there will be really
yeah,
interesting about how they're going to do. On the flip side, Anaheim's getting worse. And I want to mention the role of Ren Keslav inside that one over there, because Keslav he was the man over there for
the
15 years, the
engine.
captain, and he retired last season, and I think they don't have those kind of players to carry on that team. I think Zegras is not there yet; he's too young. With McDavid, and it can, is a team struggle a lot. And Pat Verbeek said like 2 weeks ago, "I'm not going to go nowhere with Dallas Eakins. I'm going to keep him." It's worse and worse. It's like it's a little bit like the Arizona at the beginning of the year last season. Remember that the first 6 games they get beat 8-2 and 7-1, and Montreal have that kind of the season last season at some point where they was losing 8-1 and it's 7-0, and it's the same way with now with Anaheim, and I don't see
Yeah, no,
any other lights over there and for the rest of the season.
and it was a toxic environment in Montreal until that all of that was changed, right? And same thing is happening right now in Anaheim. And again, look at their goaltending. Gibson, who should be a lot better than what he's showing right now, has been playing horrible, horrible.
Yeah. The goaltender, they tried to sign some player. Glenberg is a disaster. It will be interesting at the trade line how they're going to do this. Right? You know what I mean? So they're going to have a
Yeah.
great pick over there with McDavid. I know they have a lot of good prospect in the future for them, but they're going to suffer, unfortunately, for them, Mr. Natap, for this season.
You're right. I agree.
Then I want to go a little bit quicker about the Montreal Canadiens, but I just want to give, not this one, I just want to give you the preview of what's happening for the Ottawa Montreal Senator. Drouin is back in the lineup tonight, guys, and Montembeault is going to be between the pipes. So I just want to sharing with you about this one over there. Some player active yesterday, Chicago, Tyler Johnson was back. Ottawa Aspiro, but it's not them now. They're changing for Lucchini. For the Ottawa Senator. Couple injuries. Detroit lost the defenseman Mata. And then Montreal Monet now is on ER. The Florida put Kudos on the ER, Mr. Natap. A couple of players in tonight. Calgary welcome back Mackenzie Wegar and Lingholm. This is a big piece of the puzzle for Vancouver Canucks. Detroit welcome back Soderblom. Came for the Grand Rapids. And then Ottawa will come for his first game. Jake Lucchini is going to first game for Ottawa Senator. He's 27 years old, Mr. Natap. Never be drafted in NHL. It's another one never played in the CHL. So what you talk about? So he played in the PCHL, went to Michigan Tech, if I can recall it. It was a really strange road for him. And he was with the Laval Rocket, if you remember him, 2 years ago. He played about 8 games last year
familiar.
with Rocket, and then he got traded to the Belleville Senator, Mr. Natap. And they have a great season so far. I think he have 28 point, 27 game or 27 point, 28 game. So anyway, he's going to play his first game in NHL at 27 years old. So I just want to share with you about Lucchini's. People ask him, who is this guy? Finally, out of tonight, Calgary, LT Scratch Phillips, Detroit Larkin, game decision. Came time decision for Larkin, the captain. Ottawa are going to be missing Tyler Motte and Tim Souza. The good news and of course the bad news is going to be out a minimum to 10 to 21 days for Mr. Souza. And that's what we got, Mr. ENORTAP, about everything else. That we're going to see what we have in the chat there.
You know what, Coach, just one thing, and I don't think much has been said about this, but the more I think about it, the more frustrated I get about it. The game that Monahan went, I think it was he played against Calgary, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And that night he walked in, he had a boot on his leg. I don't understand for the life of me why they decided to play him that evening. Was it just because it was in Calgary and they wanted him to have that opportunity?
No, it was an injury. It was already carry on the couple of games before that. I think it's happened again at home again. Is it Arizona or?
Yeah,
So
it was the
not
game
the first.
after.
He
It was
showed
the
up at
game
the game
after.
with the boot, but he played with that injury a couple of games before that.
Yeah, my point being is I think they should have handled it almost like they did with Cole Caulfield, because I mean he took that heavy hit. We thought initially it could have been a concussion. Thankfully, it wasn't, and now he's traveling with the team. But when you have an asset like you do in Cole Caulfield, you don't risk it. If he has to take a day or two off, or a week, that's what you do. And with Monahan, we know for the most part that this is pretty much our biggest asset for trade deadline time. If anybody's going to get us a first, it'll be Monahan, and you can't afford to have him injured going into the trade deadline times because obviously he's going to become a free agent, and you're going to lose a quality player, and any assets he could have retained for you. So I was just surprised by that decision to play him that particular evening, and the
But he
game
played
after when he did
he
get
played
hurt
the
again.
next game after that too.
I know, but I'm just trying to be cautious with whatever assets we have. Like Drouin, they keep treating with kick gloves, and 2 days off and 1 day practice. Now 3 days off, and I doubt he's going to get us anywhere near what Monahan would on the market, open market. So I don't know. I just didn't hear much about it, so I thought it's kind of strange.
But he's back home, right? And he played that game. It was a big game for him to be back home. So I think that for me, I don't see a big problem with that part over there. Because I don't know if he would act that way if he was playing against Arizona that evening, because it was another thing. I was playing for Montreal was recognized for him. He was back home for the first time, and how this fun thing. He got adrenaline score. He got 2 assists on that one over there, and but again, you can think that way, and then he can get hurt the next game, and then um,
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
Anything can happen. We can step out on the street and a bus hits us. Like I understand that, but Montreal is in no need to have him in the lineup for any particular game. If a player is injured, it's time to give him a rest. Like don't if they have some aches. Like we have a lot of players this year. We're not insufficient for forwards. Our defense is a lot of players. You can bring up a couple players if you have to. The point I'm just trying to make is don't risk it, right? You're in a building process, and a lot of little things have to go right for them to build in the proper direction. And I thought that this maybe would have been better. It would have been better served for him not to have played those 2 games.
yeah, possible. Um, you know,
Yeah,
um, I don't know
just
if
a
he
point.
missed two
It's
weeks right now. Is it like he's going to, if he's going to be traded or not? It would be hurt his trade deadline. I think the Montreal Canadiens are going to have a problem with that Sean Monahan because of Rand O'Reilly, Bo O'Rat, Jonathan Taze, it's fun other center, and NHL is going to be on demand before him. That's my only concern about the Montreal Canadiens. So um, that will be interesting to see that. Marco Larabie, we have William Snyder back in the lineup in the chat. Randy N, welcome aboard. Thanks to be with us. A lot of conversation in the chat. Thank Yamo about Alex Farmington signed a contract over there. Is a broken foot, won't get worse by playing one game. Dwayne will get play center. Hope Shabbat I stick Kachuk on the face and the bench tonight. He did. It was harmonic, Marco, about that situation.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
it
we have
was.
3 games on the night. I have nobody go to jail, so we take a little bit longer tonight to talk about fun subject. But we have to go back what we're supposed to do, and you are the master about that one over there. So
I
Ottawa
don't know about
versus the
that.
Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, I always hate picking whenever Montreal plays. I'm always in agreement with Coach on this. It's almost easier to go with the opposition because if Montreal wins, you're even though you lost the prediction, at least it's your team that won, so you feel happy that way. Whereas if you pick Montreal and then they lose, it's almost like a double whammy. So it's a battle of Atlantic Division bottom dwellers here. I like the fact that Ottawa's slowly starting to pick up their game. It's very consistent with what they've been doing for the last, I'd say, 3 years. They come out of the gate very slow, and then slowly, as they get even a little bit healthier, they start to do a lot better. The Senators are in the middle of the pack. The NHL squad are a pack with in terms of goal scoring and goals allowed. But the metrics are better than Montreal's, both offensively and defensively. Um, we have tonight, I believe it's Montembeault against Talbot.
Yep.
So we'll see how that pans out. Sometimes I don't know exactly what to expect out of Monty. Sometimes he puts in a great game, and sometimes his mechanics lead me to believe otherwise. I don't know. It's a strange one, but I'm going to let you pick for me first, Coach. And what do you
Ottawa
think I would
4-2.
go with here? Close, close. I went Ottawa 3-2.
Yeah, I saw that too on my head, but I see empty net again.
Yeah, you like empty net goals.
Yeah, never happened.
By
But
the way,
one house, somehow it will hit perfectly about that one over there, for
last
sure.
last night,
Randy go with
somebody scored
4-3 Ottawa. JJ go with 4-2 Montreal Canadiens, Mr. ENORTAP. 3-2 for the King of Gamer for Montreal Canadiens. Marco go with Montreal Canadiens 4-3. Danny go with Montreal Canadiens 4-3. So.
Okay, let me write that down. Okay, 4-2 for Coach.
Yep.
Okay, next game we have Detroit and Minnesota. Last night I thought Detroit against the Carolina, it could put you to sleep. I thought both teams did not play a particularly exciting game, but I guess you do what you have to in terms of trying to win, and those are the kind of games that Carolina likes to play and puts you to pretty much to sleep. They wait. They're very opportunistic. They wait for their chances, and then they will capitalize at some point if you're not careful. And that's exactly what happened. Now the thing is, they decided to go with Husso last night, so that means Nedeljkovic is in net tonight for Detroit. Again, they're on the road. So that doesn't necessarily bode very well for Detroit's chances. They're on a back-to-back as well.
Look like it's Gustafsson versus Hellberg.
For tonight?
Yeah. For Detroit,
so they
Hellberg.
changed. Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Larkin is out.
Okay, so wow. Okay, so that sort of substantiates it even more. My selection here, I'm going with Minnesota here. I think Minnesota, these are the kind of points that they have to try to ensure they put in their back pocket as they're moving forward in the season. They have the talent. They've been playing a little bit better as of late. So I'm going to take Minnesota by a score of, Coach?
4-2.
5-3.
5-3. You copy Amour now.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. I'm stuck at 4-2, Mr. Nata. Another empty net.
So
Welcome back, Derek
Minnesota.
Joe. Derek Joe is in the house, Mr. Nata. Most of the people take Wild, but Danny T said, no, I'm going with Detroit about that one over there. So, no, Kevin go with Detroit too. Kevin go with Detroit. Kevin, thanks to be with us. Randy go with Minnesota. Larkin and one plate 1-0 versus the Wild. Sorry, I win Minnesota 4-2. And JJ go with 3-2 Minnesota. So that's what we got so far.
Yeah, and I just want to add here, some of you that are putting your scores in the chat, feel free to send it to that email right there. We'll keep track of it, and you'll be part of our stats collecting and our contest and leadership boards. And also, it gives you a bit of practice time before the big contest that coach is having and sponsoring coming up in December.
Yeah. Sorry about that one. There's going to be in January 2023. 2 tickets NHL going to give away at the end of the month. I'm working on the concept of how can be easier for everybody. So we'll be running into a semi-final tap, but it would be fun for sure. But you have to participate one every week. You have to show up every week to give us your players or your team or your the package of the players. So I'm working on that one, Mr. Nata.
Otherwise, it won't be valid. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly
And our
about that
last
one
game of
over
the
there.
night,
So the last
Coach.
game, Calgary and the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, it's a Western Canadian matchup between two Pacific Division opponents in Calgary and Vancouver. Uh, both teams have struggled with different things during the course of the year. We're seeing holes in both these two teams. Like I don't think, in my eyes, Vancouver is demonstrating for me any sort of leeway to say that they're going to get out of this and they're going to be eventually in a playoff spot. I'm not seeing it. By the same token, Calgary has been very inconsistent in my eyes. Again, one of the major things you can blame, that common denominator I always talk about, is the goaltending. And while Vladar has been keeping him in most of those games, Markstrom has not. Although he had a great night the other night against Montreal in a losing effort, but it was through no fault of his own. I think here I looked at this and I sort of went back and forth. These two
Back and
teams do
forth.
not predict. Yeah, these two teams really do not like each other. It's the first time that they're meeting this year, and it's gonna. I think it's got the makings of a bit of a real physical game tonight. I think this one's gonna go to overtime, and the winner is
Calgary 4-3.
exactly.
I go 4-2. It's my night of 4-2, Mr. Nata. We have a couple of people show up, Mr. Nata. Dawson Sport Corner Bobcast is in the house. Welcome. We
Welcome,
have
Dawson.
Simon Deschaines. Simon Deschaines, welcome aboard. He used the same name like mine, my last name, Deschaines. So welcome, Simon. Merci d'être avec nous. Merci pour ta prédiction. Don't forget, guys, if you want to participate to the prediction we do every night here, you send the email at the bottom. You can see HNLS WARMUP at gmail.com. We'll put you on the leaderboard and the name going to pop up at the top of the screen right now. You can see the result of everybody. It's a fun contest we do every night. And we have about 20 people participate almost every night. So you can join us and send us an email. And we're going to put you right there in the chat for the next night, talking about your performance here. You can be in the bus, you can be in the jail, but if you follow ENORTAP, you're going to be more in the bus. So that's happening about this. We have a few people. I put some pressure on you tonight, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah, you think just a little bit? just in case you haven't checked your records, I think 1 or 2 games better than mine. So,
Coach, you thought on about Emmett Croteau last week game. No, he played in the USAHL. I will say to you one thing, Young Gamer, Game King. every stat in goalies and goaltender, I'm not too much on this. Why not? Because you have Patrick Roy with Granby 4.87. You have Martin Brodeur with Saint-Hyacinthe Lazare, and you have over 3.85. So the stat as a goaltender, I'm not worried about that. I'm looking more about the performance all the time, what they look like, how they track the puck, how they square, how the T push, how the everything like that. So for me, you have a difficult thing year so far until the last couple of weeks. Croteau played with the Waterloo Blackhawks and the UCHL. He was another player was drafted, I believe, 6th round by Montreal in 2022. It's another goaltender Montreal have like Joe Roberdick with Frederic Dichaud right now with Finlander or Jacob Tobaz. They are right now the goaltender in Montreal for the on the prospect. But yeah, he did very well for the last couple of games for sure. Thank you so much, King, to mention that. Le gars que j'avais expulsé quand tu avais pogné les nerfs sur moi quand j'étais, tu voir Tampa gagner, il m'a dit que j'étais une mauvaise personne. Malheureusement, mon Simon, ça me fait malheureux de savoir que quelqu'un t'a fait ça. Do you remember? Yeah, I remember you, Simon. Under is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. Welcome back at Montreal for 2 ce soir for Simon. And Mr. ENORTAP, what welcome, you pay Hunter. Attention tonight. Don't forget, everybody, to click on the likes.
I'm going to pay attention on how many people take Montreal tonight.
Yeah, it's 50-50.
I'm very interested. I haven't looked at everybody's selections sent to the
but
email
on the
yet,
chat, Mr. ENORTAP, it's 50-50.
Oh, was it 50-50? Okay,
well, yeah, most of people took, at the beginning it was Ottawa, then people took Montreal Canadian. But our 3 game tonight, okay. What are you looking for?
Well, again, you look at some of the teams that are involved, like Calgary, I would say Minnesota, Detroit is, for as good a year that they're having, you can tell that there's still a little bit of work to be done with this team before they can be, I think, seriously in the playoff conversation. And really what's happened, Coach, is in both conferences, we're starting to see 2 divisions that could possibly put in 5 teams, right? And I'm thinking the Metropolitan could possibly have 5 teams in there. And I think also the Pacific, if I'm not mistaken, could also suit 5. So it'll be interesting. These teams like Calgary and Minnesota that are on the verge right now of tinkering with that wild card, they can't let up at any point. And that's really what I'm looking forward to tonight, to see how they respond. These are all litmus tests for them, and they have to win.
3 teams have to win tonight. Ottawa Senator, the Minnesota Wild, and the Calgary Flame. 3 teams want to be in the playoff, and they have to win those games again. The team are a little bit inferior to them. So this is what if they want to make it, that's what they have to. They cannot lose those games tonight. So that's really what I'm looking for. And if they do that, I'm going to be 3-0, so I cannot be more happier. And thanks for your help tonight, because I select exactly what you predict tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. Thanks so much, everybody.
I can only imagine what you're going to say
Simon
tomorrow.
Deschênes, merci beaucoup. Ça nous fait plaisir, mon Simon Deschênes. Don't forget to leave a click before you click on the like before you leave the building. For Mr. ENORTAP, we want to remind you, with a solid 11-1 last night.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
You have greatness inside of you. Enjoy your ride in the bus, Mr. ENORTAP. Take advantage of that ride until the next time. Until then, my friend, be well, be healthy. Finally, will not only dominate your day, finally will dominate the second half of what?
You're 2022.
You're absolutely right about this. We are back in the next couple of minutes to do the game between the Montreal Canadiens and Ottawa Senator. Mr. ENORTAP, it was a pleasure having you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. I don't know how many games we have tomorrow night, but I know it's going to be a busy night.
I think it's the busy one, yeah.
Right? Sound good. Have an amazing, great night, Mr. ENORTAP. See you tomorrow night, 6 o'clock p.m.
Good night.
Good night.